After the first qualifier, I was really struggling to pinpoint what was going on, and I felt like I needed some help. So I called up Johan on WhatsApp, and I was asking for advice, and he told me about his experiences. I'm Joseph Kidd, also known as Noly, and I'm the guy that OG wanted to make a team with. You know, they believe in my vision, and I've put something together that I think can win a world championship. I'm a previous major winner, and I hope to win many more.
My name is Torment, and I'm the coach for the team. I was originally a player for about 7 years, and I transitioned into coaching this year. This is my first, coaching job, and it's been going really well so far.
And you've also won Worlds, right?
Yeah, I didn't mention that, but yeah.
Yeah, he's a humble guy. I mean, I've said that a few times, can be quiet, but every time you speak, it's usually right. I think that's the most valued part. I don't want someone who blabs the mouth like a certain somebody. But yeah, I think I value your opinion more than anyone else's.
I mean, Noly he's someone that knows how to win, no matter the circumstance, and obviously very hardworking. Anytime I have to tell him something or am going to tell him something, he's very responsive, very easy to work with, and great player to coach.
So far, I expected him to be a bit more, aggressive and loudmouthy, the way he has been in the past, but he's tamed himself quite a bit and really started to improve, on himself and really focus on his own abilities, which, it's not what I was expecting, but it's what we need. And sometimes he really pushes us over the edge to get the games done.
I would say for JNaps, I would describe him, he's always a player that I've respected. I've started competing against him. When I started back in season 1, season 2, he was always there. We even teamed for a bit, but he's always been very down to earth guy. He's not very cocky. He's very, again, easy to work with. Obviously great player to have, as a coach. And yeah, I've loved working with him so far.
I mean, when it comes to the format, nobody was happy, I think it's something that none of us really expected to happen. But, as competitors, we have to adapt in order to win. And I think that's what we're doing. We're just sucking it up, getting the job done, and completing it at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. Epic's, downscaling a little bit. Prize pool went down, amount of teams, amount of majors. And yeah, we just have to deal with it. Hopeful for the future that it can get back to where we were, or even better. But for now, like Noly said, just have to deal with it and, do with what we got. I would say so far, I think I've adapted well. Making major in, my first split with the team is, a good start. I would say definitely happy with that. I would say feeling the pressure while the match is going on, honestly, it might be more stressful because you don't really have control over the situation. You kind of just give them what they have or what you know and what they can use, and then hope they can do it kind of thing. And then mid-game adjustments, obviously, but it's very stressful to watch. Heart rate's probably higher than it was when I was playing. Outside of that, it's less stress. I don't have to play as much, stress about how well I'm playing. So that part's definitely better, but in the match, obviously, I'm freaking out.
Although I had other offers from established orgs within the scene, OG just fits who I am. It's we win as a team, we lose as a team. From how Johan and Seb were in the past, that's how I like to conduct myself as a player. And on top of that, OG came in and was like, this is your project, we're gonna completely back it and believe in you. And those were, it was magic to my ears, so.
I think after the Open Qualifier 1, we obviously had to change something, playstyle wise. We were on a playstyle that everyone wasn't comfortable with. I think it kind of opened our eyes a little bit to what we had to change and how to get on the same page kind of thing. We had a team talk, and I think we started taking practice more seriously after that as well. And it was basically just a big wake-up call, I would say. I would say we did have a team meeting, and we sat down and would watch the rest of the regional. We were trying to pick things up from obviously the teams that were doing well. But I think the big thing that motivated us was just we just know we're not a team that should be going out 0-3 in Swiss, losing to the team. The teams we lost to were good, but we should be beating those teams, and we should be in the top 8 and fighting for, you know, top 4, top 2, like you kind of saw us in the last 2.
Yeah, I mean, for motivation to come back out on top, it was we all realized like this is not where we want to be. Getting last in a regional is humiliating. You know, it's quite rough. It hurts, and yeah, we just had to step up. We also had help from OG, you know, to be able to structure our schedule in a way that they could, you know, input their expertise from other games, and I think that really resonated with us. And since then, it's just been up and up.
I think we played Akron, the CRL team, and it was kind of just, I remember saying, just use this as like a way to get our momentum, get our confidence up. No offense to them, but use that as a confidence series, and then, you know, piggyback off that, and then went into the dig series really hot. And then after we beat that team in that round, it was like, you know, we kind of, everything clicked kind of.
Yeah, we opened the floodgates after that win. Yeah, we just had to build that confidence. I don't think we really trusted in ourselves 100%, so we couldn't play how we wanted to play exactly. But yeah, we just said, you know, fuck it.
And that's something we noticed too. Like, it was like something JNAPS I think would say, is like when we have our back against the wall in a series or in a tournament, it's like something kind of switches almost, like just play better for some reason. It's almost like fight or flight or something. I don't know, like triggers. It's weird.
A little bit scary, because like, you know, we don't want to start off slow and then, you know, having to always bounce back. But that seems to be where we have our strengths. I mean, I think I tried to stay calm no matter what, so I can keep a clear head and make sure I'm not making judgments based on, you know, irrational thinking. But in tournaments especially, I think it's one of my strong points to recognize when we're playing maybe a bit too fast or whatever. I think that can really resonate with how you think. You know, if you panicked, it shows in gameplay. So I try to really keep us level with my comms. And maybe sometimes it's a good thing, maybe sometimes it's a bad thing, but that's just who I am.
I mean, the boot camp was great, to be honest. I mean, obviously the main thing we need is just, you know, good ping, good setups, and they had that. And then being in a college town was pretty cool. I mean, it was a cool experience, just like being able to just walk around. It's just like we're basically on campus. It was kind of a weird experience, but I think it was overall very good. Just thinking about the playing experience, though, was very good. I mean, the energy was higher than it had ever been online, and that's kind of what we expected, and I think it was our best performance by far, so very, very happy with it overall.
Playing together for the first time in person, it was, I think all of us like went from like 80% to like 95% straight away, you know? Like we added those extra percentages each day, and we really built it up throughout the week. And then towards the end, you could see that like we were full of confidence. You know, we were playing on intuition. You know, we read the game and read each other's games perfectly. Yeah, I think it exceeded everything that we needed it to do. I mean, because of the the 6-way tie to get the remaining 2 spots for the major, it was rough. We knew that we put ourselves in that position to begin with. But we knew that it was also in our control. We just had to win the series ahead of us. We got a little bit lucky with playing, like Dignitas and maybe another team that we had to compete against in Swiss to knock them out. But yeah, we won the series ahead of us, and the other teams didn't. And I think that shows the promise and potential that we really have.
When we secured our major spot for Copenhagen, I mean, obviously we were all very happy. When we won our series, for top 4, we knew it was very likely, but we kind of had to hate watch the other teams. So that was when we ended up qualifying. It was G2 beating TS.
No, TS.
G2 beat TSM. Yeah, it was TSM.
Was it?
On Sunday, right?
I went to game 7.
Semifinals. I think I actually went to the bathroom because G2 would have gone down 2 goals in game 4. I mean, it was like them about to sweep, and I'm like, okay, it's going 5. And I come back and hear them yelling in the practice room. I wasn't even there. I was like, wow. I was like, what? And they scored. They scored to win it after scoring 3 straight. I mean, we were all ecstatic, though, obviously. I mean, it was not like after the first regional, it wasn't like impossible, but we knew it was very unlikely just because of getting 16th. But I think the new format also made it easier to have that kind of bounce back, and I don't think we realized that at the time. But yeah, we were just we're all super hyped.
Yeah, I mean, after, like Tor said, after we won our game to make top 4, and you know, the unfortunate loss to Gen G, we knew that we were in a likely position, and then for the entire time after that, we were just hating on whoever else had to play. Like, we were really rooting against them, you know, some insults were flying out saying how bad they were. Yeah, but G2 almost through. It was close, obviously they pulled through in the end, but even if we had to go to a tiebreaker to make the major, I still think we would have won, so it wouldn't have mattered.
I mean, the turning point, I think the obvious turning point was when we were down 0-2 in Swiss, and we knew how to play. Obviously, I think we had worked on stuff from qualifier 1, and we were playing better in scrims, and we knew how to play it, just we weren't like doing it yet, and then something just clicked. Like that turning point, we basically won 3 straight, and then actually, was it 4 straight because of the quarters? And then since then, our record was insane compared to the start.
I mean, for Copenhagen, I haven't personally set any like definitive expectations. I'm more so focused on the practice leading up to it. You know, I want to make sure we're all connecting together, playing as much as we can, playing to our strengths and feeling comfortable. And I think if we do all those correctly, a result is just a byproduct of that.
I mean, I think our goal for the tournament to start is just make it out of Swiss and then go from there. I think that's because that's the first 2 days, and then you make it to the stage, and I think all these guys and myself want to be on the stage, and you don't get that unless you get top 8, I believe. So yeah, I'd say that's the main goal, and then as well just beat Falcons in the first round. It's the match ahead of us. We want to start out strong on LAN and, you know, kind of set the tone. So I would say those 2.
In a LAN environment, I think age is only going to help us. We've all been at LAN, we've all won a LAN. I don't think many of the teams have all won a LAN together. So I mean, you know, that helps for us. And I think the age thing is just, it only affects you if you let it affect you. And I think we're really turning it into a positive way.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, I mean, maybe more of a joke. I think it's stressed a little too much. I mean, I used to get it when I was a player, but JNaps is older than me, and he's still, you know, going crazy. And I think he's a good example of like, I mean, he's the oldest player at the LAN, I believe, right? And he's, you know, still pretty mechanical for anybody. So I don't think it really matters. And I believe mechanics matter less on LAN. Like, and that's when it comes down to the core, like team play and chemistry and the pressure you apply to your opponent is way more important than the mechanics. And I think people will, it's been a thing in the past, and I think they'll realize that again.
Personally, I don't have a bias, but I think European crowds have always been better in terms of, you know, the ambience and the levels that they show. But for me, like, the crowd has always just improved how I play. It's never really affected me negatively. The only thing that can affect me negatively is my teammates, and I have some of the best teammates that you can have.
Yeah, I mean, I think unless we're against EU, I think we'll have a lot of support, especially, I mean, Noly's EU, so there might be some representation there for the fans, but also last time, I mean, one of the last times I played in Europe, I got booed. Actually, me and Com got booed.
In London?
In London, yeah. I guess it was the second to last time, but London's a little different. I expect Denmark to be pretty
neutral overall.
A little more, a little more neutral, but I don't know. There hasn't been a LAN there yet, so I'm excited to see how they are.
I mean, I think from my personal experience, it definitely came to mind more than not. After the first qualifier, I was really struggling to pinpoint what was going on, and I felt like I needed some help. So I called up Johan on WhatsApp, and I was asking for advice, and he told me about his experiences and having the lower runs and being the underdog and having to fight against the odds. And I realized that, like, okay, you know, I've had to do that in the past, and that's the kind of person I am, but it's never really gotten to me. If anything, it's pushed me into being a better me, and I think it's going to show on LAN as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my answer would be as that. But yeah, I mean, I did think about it. I mean, I know, you know, when I signed on, I knew that this is an org that wanted to win and do super well and kind of, you know, set their name in Rocket League. Yeah, once we went 16th, I was like, we gotta fix this.
Yeah, we gotta lock in.
Yeah, we gotta lock in. And
you gotta do the meme thing.
Oh, the guy that leans forward, yeah.
Yeah,
that was us. To the fans, I mean, we appreciate you all, you know, from the 16th all the way up to getting top 4 and making the major. We just hope you stick with us, and we're going to try to get a result for you guys and for NA in general. I know the whole region is hoping we have teams that do well, and we're trying to do well as well.
I mean, exactly like Tor said, to be able to follow us and believe in us, even after a poor result, we couldn't be more grateful. And to the people who said, O3 Esports, go fuck yourself.